Just give. You're not going to not have that money. That's the thing. You're not going to not have it. It's coming back. You just might not see it in cash. God doesn't need your money. He needs your heart to give. He doesn't need your money, but he needs you to have a heart to give. Go do something and give to somebody.
Kill Complacency, a podcast that inspires growth and intentionality and helps you overcome your greatest obstacles.
You've got a lot of rentals. What keeps you driving forward at this point? I mean, a lot of people at your position could say, I'm just take it easy. They're not out looking for another business to buy. But what drives you, Scooter?
I don't think we can be. I think if you're not growing, then you're going down. If you're not making an effort to go up, there's no plateau. It's either up or it's down. Because if you don't
you're
work
either
on
growing
your
or shrinking.
rentals,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. And what would I do with my time? I mean, I really enjoy doing it. I enjoy doing our flips.
Yeah.
Our flips. I don't know if I told you, we do like a month-long RV trip across the country. Most every summer. We have for the last four or five summers. We'll get in our motorhome and we'll go. We've driven to Nova Scotia, Canada, which is the very top part. We've driven to all the way up to Washington State, and then came back down through California and back home through Las Vegas, which is fun. But we, just that right there cost more than what my rentals will cash flow.
Sure.
So, we make that. We're
flips.
We're hustling to do that. Yeah, I mean that's a $25,000 trip, and it's not really optional to do because it's so important. So we got to go make money. Our private school is not really optional. We want.
Yeah.
We're responsible to give them the best, and I think that's the best we can do is try to pay for this private Christian school. So
sure.
we're gonna do that. It's not optional. So I gotta go hustle and make it. But then it's the deals come. I mean, you're in real estate. They, the more you talk to people, the more you get. And I mean, I don't think real estate people retire, do they?
Well, hopefully, because that's the stuff I buy.
I mean, but what are you going to do if you retire? What if something rolls up,
Yeah.
This guy's...
Yeah, because they're always looking for a deal.
Yeah. And if it makes sense, then, let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think some people will slow down, kind of like, you're running, whenever you get older, you will probably still run, but instead of doing, 10 miles, you'll do 5 or 3 or whatever it is. But you probably won't ever stop buying houses.
Or you walk it.
Or you walk. Yeah. Everything's a hill. Walk the hills.
Yeah.
Isn't that what you ultra runners do, is walk the hills?
Some people. That last race, I was trying to run it, but it was hard.
Did you the last lap?
I had to run it twice, but it was painful because I knew that time was wasting. So,
yeah, dude, that whenever I did my last 62 mile race, it was a 4-mile loop, I think. And that last loop, I was chasing the clock like what you were talking about, and they had said, hey, if you're going to do it again, you have only 38 minutes to finish, because it was a 12-hour race. And I was doing 62 miles. And I was like, my buddy we were running together, we were staying together. And then I was like, hey man, I'm going to make this other lap. And it was a it was like a 5K loop, I think it's what it was, or maybe 3.5, whatever it was. I took off like I'd come through the start and finish and gotten my drink, gotten whatever it was I was drinking. By that point, it didn't really matter. It was whatever my
Yeah.
wife was giving me. But and I ran. I pictured myself running. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going so fast. I was delirious and I was so messed up, and I got back and they were like, oh, you missed it by whatever minutes. It was a few minutes over, but I was like, dang, I knew I was running at like a
Yeah.
7-minute pace, but really I was good to do 10.
Yeah.
It was funny. I was like, I thought that was my fastest one. I was just delirious.
Mm.
But
On my
that was the
run,
last one.
it was similar, Scooter. I came over the hill. I got to the top and I looked down and I had 4 minutes. And my daughter was a little ways down. She was doing a marathon. And I passed her and she told the guy she was running with, she said, I'm going to go with my dad. And she catches up and I turn around and I said, hey, I've got 3 minutes. And I said, I can't talk. I'm out of breath. And she's like, okay. But she doesn't know what I mean. And she goes, we can go faster. I said, Tirza, I'm going as fast as I can right now. like this is all I have. And yeah, she didn't know till we came around the last corner and it said 7:59 that, oh, Dad was racing the clock. But yeah,
funny.
I was just like you said, like my legs were turning and I thought I was a 5-minute pace, but there's no way.
Right. That's funny.
So
Yeah, whenever you get that depleted, you just are not thinking straight. I mean,
yeah, you got nothing left.
it's such a I think everybody needs to do it so they can feel that, up and down and up and down, and you know, try to tune in your body to that type of not discipline, but abuse. What you can take.
Well, talk to me, Scooter, a little bit about what parallels do you see between running and entrepreneurship? Because don't you feel like it's the same, right? Roller coaster. There's ups and downs,
Definitely.
and there's good times and bad times, and
I can definitely see that. I mean, first I think people need to run anyway because it helps with their how they think the rest of the day.
Yeah.
How you put yourself together the rest of the day and how you interact with people. But I mean, to be able to suffer through is in anything, and not in real estate. I mean, if you're doing almost anything in a business, if you have some kind of entrepreneurial, not just real estate, but it's sometimes you just have to suffer through. Right now, we have to suffer through rate hikes of we had loans at 4%, now they're at 8.5. I mean, that's a lot. We're all there's a lot of investors that weren't able to, they DNF'd. They popped, so, we have to, for you doing that 50 miler, you had to get enough fuel to not be too heavy, and also, to be able to make it, but to know, oh, I need to get this sandwich in just a minute. Uncrustables are, I wish I could just figure out what sandwich I would sit better with me in my entrepreneurial journey. But, right now it's cash. Cash sits better in my bank than in a house because, we're running a lot leaner than we used to. It's definitely put a squeeze on things. We've, had we've endured, and we've and instead of saying pivot, I'll just say what we did because it might help somebody.
Yeah.
We refinanced some stuff to stretch it out longer to get
Mm-hmm.
the cash flow down. People think, oh, well, that's not, you shouldn't do that because of whatever, because it's going to take you longer to pay it off. Well, if we don't have it, then we're not going to ever be able to pay it off. The interest rate doubled, the payment went up,
Yeah.
almost double. So we have to do something, but I don't think a lot of people did things like that, and so they just gave them back to the bank. They popped. They couldn't
Mm-hmm.
stand the heat. They didn't. They walked the hill, and then they just said, "Hey, I'm done," because it's so easy to
Yeah.
just be done. But
if you want to wear a billboard of a message of kill complacency or live intentionally, then check out my merch store. It's www.mindsetshop.com. Mindset is with an X, so it's MINDXET shop, SHOP.com. Mindsetshop.com. Well, I think anybody in real estate, Scooter, the last 2 years has struggled because just lower amount of transactions than ever before. And I could say the same. I mean, we were heavy into flips and had a bunch of inventory sitting and a bunch of inventory to finish, and the money was dried up. And so, we had to get creative. We started doing contract for deeds. We did some refis. We did a refi, and it was coming due next year. And our bank put the note at 5.25%, where it was in 2021 when we started it. Well, then we were like, well, if they're going to keep our note the same, but give us a bunch of cash out, how many of their notes can we do this to? Because now it's a bigger number because you're not at a higher interest rate on the bubble.
Right.
So we pulled some cash just because we wanted to keep our interest rates low for another 5 years.
Yeah.
But it was asking those hard questions and, not just throwing in the towel, not just DNFing, because the going got tough.
Yeah. That's the hardest thing to do. Those things are, doing the work is the easy part. Going and doing the thinking is the hard part. We get lazy. What you can tell if I'm being lazy if I am going and looking at houses. Looking at our rental property. That's lazy work for me. That's what I do if I, don't
nothing
feel
else
like
to
doing
do.
anything.
You're not living with purpose.
I have plenty else to do.
You're distracting.
I'm gonna go check out this rental. Mandy does that. I don't have to do that. She would like me to do it, but she knows what to do. I don't have to go there. Or I go deliver dumpsters. I have a dumpster rentals, and I'll start pumping that, and I'll go do that. But my time is better spent sitting here thinking.
Finding deals.
But sometimes, and on the other hand, sometimes you just need some cash, so you go and do it. You go, make some money. You gotta go get it. Sometimes, I think a lot of people, new entrepreneurs, whenever they get squeezed, they're like, "Well, I don't really go do that kind of thing. I don't really go paint houses." Luckily, I haven't had to paint, but in the last few years, I started renting these dumpsters out, and if I was like, "Hey, my account's getting low," well, I better go and hustle, go get some money. And I'm out there at the dump, 3 times a week because it's $450 a trip, it's $1,500. That's, pays whatever, luckily I hadn't been that tight, but if a need be, let's do it.
Yeah, that's good.
Being able to push through, it definitely coincides with running. And if somebody can push through on, a 5K, a 2-mile run, whatever level they're at, definitely goes with running.
Well, and it builds confidence too, right? I mean, when you push through and don't throw in the towel in whatever you're doing, because you realize, my bar can get higher.
That's right. We're hoping to push through on our candle making. We're pumping out probably 1,500 candles a day. and we're
Hmm.
like, we need to do more. You know, they don't do it every
Hmm.
day, but whenever they're in production, we're like, okay, well, how many can we stand to make? I'm like, how many you think we could get out? She's like, well, if we have
Hmm.
another this person or that person, we could do, you know, this many. I'm like, okay, let's figure out how to do that, you
Yeah.
know. But
Yeah. Asking those questions.
that's right. So so you said you were 2 days recovered on that. I just can't help but think you didn't give it all. Do you feel like whenever I'm sorry, this is my podcast, so I was gonna ask you a question. Whenever you if you don't mind, whenever you got done, did you feel like, oh, I could do another 60. You know, I could do another 50 miles to get a 100 miler. Did you feel like you had any more in you?
Yeah. So let me jump in here because the Scooter and I talked before the show. So anyone listening, context is we talked before the show, and Scooter and I follow each other on Strava. And I just did a 50-mile race, and I was telling Scooter before the show that I wasn't too sore from it. So Scooter's thinking I didn't push hard enough.
You
Um,
sandbagged.
yeah, I Scooter, I honestly, I think I gave it my all. I think that I think I was in good shape. I think I had like 18 minutes of idle time, fueling, and I probably could
Mhm.
have cut back on some of that. But when I was moving on the course, I was moving pretty good. I hit a wall with 6 to go. Um, and I was not prepared for that. I was prepared for the mental challenge of 30 to 40 miles because it's always where I kind of bonk.
Mhm.
And I got through that, but with 6 to go, I I wa- I'd only ever walked going up and it's a massive hill. It's 140 feet climb in a short distance. And I had not walked anywhere on the course until it was 3 laps to go. And I got to the woods and I was just feeling terrible. And this guy was walking and I walked with him, but I looked at my watch and I was finally like, dude, I gotta go. Like, I wanted the goal. Um, I was definitely sore, but it was more like weights. And I think a lot of it, I think I was in pretty good shape. Um,
Yeah.
but I probably maybe could have given it more, but, um, dude, I tried. I really did. I
Okay.
didn't leave much out there.
All right. All right. I had to ask. I like it. That's
I'll,
awesome.
if you want, you can look it up on my Facebook. And I actually did a Word document long, and you can read the whole thing.
Okay. I did
So
read, I think I did read some of it the other day. Yeah, man, I'm all over it. I love it.
yeah.
Um, whenever you know, you get done with something like that, it's like you almost need a debrief for yourself,
Hmm.
you know. So I'm glad you did that. It's cool. Congratulations on that. You know, just
Yeah.
think
Thank you.
your kids like me growing up, that was insane. Nobody would run 50 miles. You know,
Hmm.
you can't do that. You know, your body can't handle it. You know, all the reasons your knees will give out, your hips will give out, your ankle, it's bad for your toes, whatever it is, you know, and you did it. And you just think your kids will know, you know, they'll see that and they'll think, oh, well, I mean, my dad can do it. And surely,
Mm,
you know, I can do that. So just think where they will be, you know, not just in that, but in houses and real estate and
sure.
you know in physical fitness.
Well, and I mean, I haven't been a runner for that long. Like 3 years ago, I would identify as someone who hates running and doesn't run. So my kids have seen the change
Yeah,
and the compound effect of time and distance and so yeah, it's extremely applicable to all of life. And
yeah,
whether it's buying real estate or marriage or relationships or entrepreneurship. I think there's so much to be said for compound effect of consistently putting into time and discipline to reach for the goal. And I mean, honestly, part of the reason I had this podcast is I want more people to just be more intentional with the compounding effect of life. Because like you said earlier, we're either going up or we're going down. There's no flat line.
Yep. No plateau. That's right.
Over the years, I have been coached by countless mentors, and now I want to offer that to you as well. How? By Marty Hofmann's Life Coaching. This will be a 6-week program in which I will guarantee you will develop a more growth mindset. We will set goals and learn about the importance of the processes and habits behind those goals. I will also help you see your story differently as things happening for you, not to you. We will also be discussing your future self and give you clarity on who that is and what it looks like. For more information, please follow the link below or hop on martyhoffman.com and follow the coaching link.
To, I think, doing some crazy stuff like running 50 miles or running 100 miles. Have you done more than 50 before?
I've done a 100K. I did 100K last fall.
So it's 62.
Yeah. So I'm planning on doing another 50 in May, and then I'm going to do 100 this fall, ideally.
Yeah. So, just being able to push yourself through some suffering, I think that's really everything for people growing up, and adults. What made you become a runner? What happened 3 years ago whenever you were like, oh, I'm going to be a runner now? Because nobody likes running. Why would you want to do that?
I got a physical, and I was heavy and out of shape. And honestly, I was talking to my brother, and he's like, he's a runner. And he's like, I said, I think about doing a half marathon. He said, losers do half marathon, Marty. Let's do a full. I'll do one with you.
Yes.
So that's how it started. It was like, let's go big. And that was as big as I could imagine. So, but it was just the compound effect of it.
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm saying about your kids will see you. I mean, now 62 miles is, why wouldn't they be able to imagine doing 100? 100 is not that big a deal. My dad did 60, so I guess, I could do that. I mean, the compound effect on not for you, but and maybe not for your kids, but maybe for people that are around you, it just kind of trickles down.
Yeah.
I got some new guys running with me now, and they're like, I never would imagine that I could run 3 miles. I'm like, yeah, you're doing it, man. He was puking last run, but he was doing it, and so that's good. That's cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Scooter, what is a favorite book or favorite quote you have? What's something that's been motivational to you?
Well, motivational to me.
Or helped you along the journey. Okay.
Oh man. Rich Dad Poor Dad was kind of I was already into real estate whenever I learned about that book, but it really catapulted things. And then the compound effect, the Darren Hardy book. That one, whenever you look at the statistics, I like numbers. I like statistics because it's in general how people act or whatever the range is. And he's got that in the book, and it's kind of like, he's got the whatever it is about, if you drink a Coke a day for this many years, then this is what's going to happen. Mine wouldn't be a Coke; it would be an ice cream sandwich. It would be cookies and cream ice cream sandwich. Come on. And I have to think about those things, but the compound effect and Rich Dad Poor Dad. But I think it's Rich Dad Poor Dad first, compound effect second.
Yeah.
Atomic Habits.
Okay.
Is in there too, but I really liked Darren's statistics that he put in there, and I don't
Mm-hmm.
think Atomic Habits have it. But I think it might be a newer and easier for some other people to relate to. But it's the same, yeah, premise.
Yeah. I would
Yeah.
I would agree those are all great books and probably in that order too.
Yeah. Good. I'm not alone.
No, you're
Yeah.
good.
Um, yeah.
Scooter, if this is your final message, final podcast, what do you want the world to know?
What do I want the world to know?
To
Well,
remember you by?
um, Marty, man, I don't know. I've thought about that. And I thought, oh well, probably something. Uh, I've listened to your podcast and I heard the last setup that you do, but you know, um, I guess some of the things that come to mind are, don't be afraid to go do it. Just
Mm,
start.
mm-hmm.
People come to me all the time asking about, well, I want to get into real estate. How do I start? And I said, well, just go start. You know, and they very seldom do. And I'm sure you get that too. You
Mm-hmm.
in the business that you're in. And I just tell them, I give them a task. Go on Zillow, find a house, and let's talk about it.
Yeah.
For two reasons: one, to see if they'll go do something, and two, to give us a subject to talk about. Okay, this is the
Mm-hmm.
deal. This is how the numbers work. But
Mm-hmm.
so say just go do something. Just go do it. Just start. Um, and you know, be a tither. Love
Mm-hmm.
Jesus. Be a tither. You're not gonna the blessings that come with it, or you could call it whatever you want to, but giving generously has
Sure.
never um, hurt, and it's always I've never not had enough whenever I started doing that.
Mm,
And it's I guess it's easy to do once you learn that, and
mm-hmm.
um, it's I think that's a very important thing to do, to give to the next.
That's
Whether
good.
it's your time, your money, your tithe. I tithe to the church. I want to tithe enough to where they that it makes a difference. And
Yeah.
I know we got 1,000 people in our church, but if I can, if we can hire somebody based out of somebody's tithe, wouldn't that be awesome? If they
Mm-hmm.
can, get somebody to help with this ministry here or that ministry there. I think
Don't you think though
how
tithing is more for you than it is for where it goes? That's what I think. It's what you learn from it, right?
yeah. Yeah, it is givens for the giver, not for the
Mm-hmm.
receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but
And there's
I think
benefit there, but
for sure,
yeah, just give.
yeah, just give. You're not gonna be able to. What's the worst that could happen? You don't. You're not gonna not have that money.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. You're not gonna not have it. It's coming back. You just might not see it in cash. You know,
Yeah.
the church might not write you a check back, but they actually might. It's crazy. Um,
Yeah.
things happen, and God doesn't need your money; He needs your heart to be
Mm-hmm.
to give. And I don't know how you might. I don't know how you feel about it, but that it doesn't need your money
Mm-hmm.
because He doesn't need your money. But if
No, he
He
doesn't. Yeah.
needs you to have a heart to give, and I think give. So uh, go do something and give to somebody.
Mm, that's good.
In a nutshell, there you go.
Scooter, how do people find you, follow you, all that good stuff? You want to show your number
Um,
behind you there?
yeah, look at that. You can text me. That's easy. You can text me. But I'm on Scooter on Instagram, Scooter Howell 2 at Gmail. Nah, that's my email. Scooter Howell 2 on Instagram, or I'm pretty easy to find. I've there's not a whole lot of scooter Howells in Monroe, Louisiana. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty easy to find. And here lately, if they want to come, buy a candle, I'm at Mary's Candles in West Monroe.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah. You have to come down and buy a candle. We actually have them in Walmart. I think the closest one to you guys would be in like Dallas or Texarkana.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I saw that picture you sent was in Dallas.
yeah. That was actually from my route driver. He's there today.
Okay.
We're a vendor, so we have to take them over there and stock the shelf. But um, pretty whole new business, man. It's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Scooter, for doing this.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on here. This is awesome. Can't wait to send it out.
Just wanted to thank you guys for listening to the end. In closing, I just wanted to add that if this message resonates with you, if it aligns with your values, and something in it today triggered something, then you can also look me up on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube. We are really trying to help people live more intentional lives to kill the complacency with which they have subscribed to. I know there's many ways which I get sucked in all the time. So if this is beneficial, follow me there.